himself wasn't sure just exactly what he was getting himself into when he and JoJo English, the former Lower Richland star, now headed for South Carolina on a basketball scholarship, got into it. The two of them put on a dynamic exhibition. They were all over JoJo after he hammered this one down. I guess that comes with you. A showdown between last year's winner, JoJo English from Lower Richland, and the man, Michael Jordan. He's tough, don't you know? But JoJo said, take this. That's how I'm going to do it for USC. But Jordan says, I do it like this for the Chicago Bulls, and I also do it like this. Now, Michael will wrap it up with this dunk and won him his second consecutive NBA title. Ooh.
But what was different when you played a game against him and the Bulls?
I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Max. There was no weaknesses. You try to force him left. You try to force him right. You try to top lock him. You try to hold. You try to be physical with him. I equate it to like this. It was like, and maybe this is how centers feel when they were going against Shaq. He was Shaq of shooting guards. I don't care. There was no way you could get around him in front of him. He was just too strong.
Bruh. That's gotta be, shout out to Reggie Miller, man. He went up against MJ for years, and for him to just, be as open and transparent about one of his competitors like that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, bro, like, we don't get to hear these stories of Michael Jordan so often, so when his competitors come out and say this type of stuff, bro, it's really alarming, and I don't think, these aren't like fake narratives. These are like really what people who went up against MJ had to deal with going up against him. Like he just said, his strength. For him to refer to MJ as the Shaq of shooting guards says a lot. Because we know how dominant Shaq was in the paint. I mean, straight backing, backing them down, turn around, yamming on their head. And that's what Jordan did his whole career. So that's just a crazy comparison to me.
Had a 48-inch vertical. So you were never blocking his shot.
I got a 50. Shit.
And he could stop on a dime, his handles, and then he held the ball like it was like an orange. So he's taunting you, holding the ball in your face, the tongue is all out and shit, and he's chewing the fucking gum and all that shit.
Hey,
and
he really
come
pissed.
down, black eyes are looking at you, and I'm looking right back at him. That motherfucker, I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's looking at you, and man, no weaknesses, none, zero. I could look. I look.
Bruh, I think those are the two most underrated talking points that don't get enough, you know what I'm saying? They don't talk about it enough. And that's the size of his hands and the advantage that it gave him, his strength and how stout he was. And how you couldn't just get around him and how you couldn't just, you know what I'm saying, when he backing down on you, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like these little shooting guards today where, a lot of them coming into the league 21, 22 years old. MJ had that from the jump. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could watch the clip of Bobby Knight, I think, talking about when he went on to the Team USA his rookie year.
It is just an absolutely great kid. If I were going to pick the 3 or 4 best athletes I've ever seen play basketball, he'd be one of them. I think he's the best athlete I've ever seen play basketball, bar none. If I were going to pick people with the best ability I'd ever seen play the game, he'd be one of them. If I were going to pick the best competitors that I'd ever seen play, he'd be one of them. So in the categories of competitiveness, ability, skill, and then athletic ability, he's the best athlete, he's one of the best competitors, he's one of the most skilled players. And that, to me, makes him the best basketball player that I've ever seen play.
Man, the hands and the strength, given his size. You know what I'm saying? He a shooting guard, but, still, bro.
Love tape. I'm watching. I'm always trying to find a tail. And I found a tail on everyone.
Not him.
I could not find a tail. Not one. Damn. Like, okay, if he goes left X amount of times, what is his percentages? Great. Right. Great. Step back. Great. Greater. Great. Rebounding. Great. Passing. Great. You can't punk him. I'm trying to find something. So it's almost like shit by committee. Derek, the key. I mean,
we got to get some help down this motherfucker. Come on now, don't be here. I've been calling.
I ain't too
motherfucker,
proud to
come on.
beg.
Come on now, this
I ain't
motherfucker,
too
you
proud to
come.
beg.
That's what I'm
man.
tired
The
of.
toughest shot in basketball, which is the fadeaway, he shot that shit
I mean-
at a high clip. That's the toughest shot
And
in
you
basketball.
cannot
Get
block it. You can't get it.
But see,
It's fading away and it's at 48 inches.
yeah, when they got to learn how to put it back to the basket and get in that post, that's when he got.
And then
it got
he got
crazy,
he
yeah.
would do the
He get-
Elijah one.
Yeah, he get
Little
that.
shake.
He get that.
Shit,
So
shake shit on you.
he
Oh,
gets your
Lord.
lead.
He said, "Oh Lord."
And
Hey, he really traumatized them dudes.
Listen to this. Pick and rolls. Don't let your big be one step too. He's splitting, and then
Look out.
now it's up to Dale and Antonio. Good
Look out
luck.
below. Good luck.
Now he's your problem
Good
now.
luck. Good luck.
Somebody finna get banged on.
Yeah, man, it's your problem now. If he split. But then
No lies
he would
told,
extend
bro.
him to half court. He would get this shoulder
Damn,
or this shoulder, which way he was coming off, and get under the big, and then it's downhill. So now, if you're trailing, as shooting guards are, you got to get under, and then and on top of that, he could shoot. He could shoot.
They talk about it. I've seen a lot of videos about his athleticism, but I seen the video recently when he got a tip ball and they passed to him. He went up off vertical on Charles Barkley. That shit was so bad. I'm like,
That's another thing that people don't understand. Not only could he's known for, the two-handed, but he could one leg too.
Yeah.
Either leg too.
yeah.
Either leg. Like it was, and be out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, we gonna get into that in a second though,
It's going
Playing
down.
cards.
bruh.
All this shit.
Games at 7:30.
Shit, sometimes he'll go play golf the same day he play.
You just got Vern talking in the background. Shout out to Vern and Reggie, man. Two competitors who went up against MJ head up had to guard him. So I'm just saying, you don't hear nobody talking about nobody else like this.
Coach,
And this is what I mean. You said we gonna get into that in a
What's the
second.
difference between those two, in your opinion?
Right hand.
Why?
Well, Kobe would be going to the line to shoot 2. MJ was going to shoot and 1. A lot of them knocks that Kobe had to shoot with 2 hands, when that knock would happen, MJ put that bad boy over here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the difference, huh? Okay. I didn't hear that.
Man, I'm telling you, I done seen this brother make, like he going to do a crossover, and you,
Just scoop that bit back. Like,
Yeah, that's a myth right there.
you gotta understand, bro. When you holding the ball like this, like it's just in your hand like this, you can do whatever you want on the basketball court, bro. I think that's why I say we don't really talk about how much of an advantage that gives a player, particularly MJ. And the first thing he said, what's the difference between Kobe and MJ? Craig Hodges. The first thing he said was the hand. So it's like, people who know this, but it's like, you just can't compare certain people, man. You got levels to this, bro.
and then you have that MJ. I'm telling you, I was with MJ 4.5 seasons or whatever. Never lost a suicide. Never.
Never lost a suicide.
Never.
It's crazy.
Never. No.
That man different.
We're playing in Miami and we rolling at this time. The system is really playing for itself. So we going to shoot around and we're leaving shoot around and we're on the bus and MJ like, man, drop me off here. And drop him off at the bar. He say he gonna have some beers, right?
Huh?
Say he gonna have some beers.
the rest of this story.
Okay, go have some beers. So he tell us to pick him up on the way back to the game. We pick him up, he still got his sweats on. You know MJ come to game suited and booted, all right? He still got his sweats on. Pick us up, he get on the bus. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Right? Bubbly. You smell the beer on him.
MJ with that
Got 30 at half.
deep ass voice. 30
Right?
at half.
Going through warm-ups, man, I'm seeing 3 rims. I'm gonna shoot at the one in the middle.
That dude reckless, but he killing them dudes.
And then told us, if y'all can't beat them, we don't need to win the championship. Y'all can beat them without me. But came in there and he got it done early and went and sat down. Okay?
Fresh off.
Dropped this man off at the bar, got loaded before the game, came in, dropped 30 for the half, Like, bruh. I don't know what else to say, bro. Like, I really, bruh, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't saying that's a good thing, but that just, it's like, it's levels, bro. There's levels. The 90s. You still had hoopers in the 90s. You had hoopers. You always had hooper. He killing them dudes loaded, bro. Leaving a bar. What's that say about his level of confidence, about his level of preparation, you know? I think those two things more than anything, because sounds like they won the chip that year. So it's like, you know, he already knew what was going to happen. But, you know, MJ just loved them, love them booze and them cigars, man. So, hey, man, I've been loving these MJ stories coming out lately, bro. I ain't going to lie.
Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived. Complete. Like Kareem was just as effective. LeBron at times can be just as effective. But the most complete basketball player that ever lived is Michael Jordan. Completeness.
Preach.
So, like, his ability to do every aspect of basketball at the highest level. And I think that came from going to college. The best coaches are in college basketball. So they design defenses and offenses that are different from the NBA. So you learn how to play against a zone defense. You learn how to play against a man-to-man, 1-3-1, 2-1-2. You know different defenses. NBA is just strict man-to-man. But your philosophies and thought process is from a totality of all of those defenses. So now the game is easier for you. What I always say about Michael, what's different between even the great Kobe Bryant and the great LeBron James is he was still the most fundamental basketball player. He was the best athlete and the most fundamental because he went to college for 3 years and developed certain things. Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived.